Now, why do we want to play this more off of our left heel? Well, we want to place, the driver's the longest club in your bag, and it takes a little longer to get to its most optimal position. And typically, it's either off your left heel or slightly on your left toe, okay? So when you set up to the golf ball, we want to make sure that you have just a slightly open stance, or open toe right here. You see that?
Yeah.
Okay, just to expose this heel here, okay? You're going to feel a lot more stable because the left foot is outside the heel. What I want you to do is off your swing. Okay? I've seen a little shoulder rotation here with you. Okay? I don't want this move here. I want this move here. I want the right elbow tucking right into your side. Okay? Which puts your hands into the slot. It's called the slot. Your hands are nice and low, close to your body. Then we're going to drive the club head through. When you hit the golf ball with the driver, which one needs to get there first? The club head or your hands? The club head. Very good. Okay? That's going to help you release the club head. That's going to generate tons of club head speed. Okay? All right, no one talks about arm drill. Okay? The second phase of this drill is going to be the feel it, execute it portion of the drill. What I want you to do is I want you to go practice swing, execute the shot. Now the reason why I want you to go practice swing, go, practice swing, go is because the biggest culprit in your short game is your brain. And I see a lot of players, they'll do this. They'll go practice swing, then they'll kind of stop and they'll twiddle their club. Anytime that there's a big gap between your last practice swing and the execution of the shot, your brain's going to have a chance to second guess or doubt what it felt in the practice swing. So within 2 to 3 seconds of your practice swing, I want you executing the shot. Okay? Let's go ahead and try it. So practice swing, go. Practice swing, go. I was anxious to get to see you. Today we're going to work on pre-shot routine. Do you have any idea what I mean when I say pre-shot routine? The reason is to get yourself lined to your target. Okay? Do you have a pre-shot routine?
Yeah, a few practices.
It's very, very good, William, that you have a pre-shot routine. Okay? Most players, a lot of players don't. They just kind of step up to the golf ball and just hit it and play for speed golf. So we don't want to do that. One of the reasons why you're an advanced player is that's good. But what we want to do is we want to sharpen up your pre-shot routine. If I can get you to do what I'm about to show you, I can almost save you anywhere from 3 to 5 strokes per round. That's a lot. There's 2 big benefits that you get when you take a pre-shot routine. The first one is that it lowers your heart rate, okay? Which is very, very important, which in turn lowers your anxiety level. Have you ever gotten up to a golf ball and said to yourself, I don't want to hit it? It happens all the time, right? If it hasn't happened, it will happen, I promise. Okay? There's only a few things your body can utilize to build a positive frame of mind. One is practicing, and the other one is pre-shot. Okay? Pre-shot starts 10 to 15 feet behind the golf ball. Do you have any idea why we want to come this far back?
To see,
Yeah.
see better.
Yeah, see down the fairway a bit better, right? I see a lot of players, they'll come about 4 feet away from the golf ball and they're looking down their target line like this, okay? When you're this close, you have to look down at the golf ball and out towards your target. But if I come back 10 to 15 feet, I can look down the middle of my fairway and I can see the ball out of my peripheral. You'll see a lot of your tour pros, they're coming back at least 10 to 15 feet behind the golf ball. That's exactly what they're doing, okay? When you're back here, 10 to 15 feet behind the golf ball, I want you to keep your club in your right hand. Do you have any idea why I want you to keep your club in your right hand?
Yeah.
Which arm is your power arm? Yeah, what we want to do is we want to let your power arm or your hitting arm, which is your left arm and your left hand, relax a little bit. Let the blood flow to the tips of the fingers, okay? You'll see too many players, I see too many players like this, are gripping the club like this, looking down the fairway, and they're gripping this club like a chicken neck, okay? And the blood never gets to the tips of the fingers. Always remember, golf is all about feel, finesse, and touch. It's a feel sport, okay? So let the blood flow down there. Any type of movement that you can do with your hands, moving them in and out like this, or moving your wrist back and forth like this, squirts the blood down into the tips of the fingers so you have more feel, okay? So try and keep the club in your right hand, let your hitting arm rest a little bit. When you're back here, William, what I want you to do is I want you to pick something 1 to 2 feet in front of this golf ball that's on your target line. Okay? This is going to be very, very important. There's a lot of things that can intimidate you on a hole, and that's the reason why I brought you out here to hole number 7 to show you or go over pre-shot routine with you. It's a narrow fairway lined with trees on both sides, and there's a lake and a creek going all the way down the left-hand side in those trees. So it's a very intimidating hole. Unlike the driving range where you've got wide open spaces, a whole bunch of do-overs, and flat lies. But here, you've got a narrow fairway, you've got one shot, right? And you're playing through a scorecard. So there's only a few things that the player can rely on. That's pre-shot and practice wins. So picking something 1 to 2 feet in front of the golf ball is going to be very, very important. Just for training purposes, let's just say I'm going to put a tee down. Okay, now you can't do this legally, but just for training purposes, I'm going to come out here. And I'm going to put that about 1 to 2 feet in front of the golf ball. Okay? And we're going to assume that that is our target line right there. Okay? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw an imaginary line from this golf ball to this tee, and we're going to utilize the tee just a little bit right there, buddy. We're going to utilize this line for 3 things, William. Okay? The first thing I want to do is I want to get my feet parallel with this imaginary line. Okay, as much as I can. Okay, think of railroad tracks. You've got one side of the railroad track here. You've got the other side of the railroad track right here. Try and get as parallel as you can. I don't want you to set up like this, and I don't want you to set up like this. Try and get as parallel as you can. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to square your club face to this target line right here. Okay? I don't want your club face open. I don't want the club face shut down. Think of a perfect cross or a T-junction set up to that line. Okay? Square that club face. The third and final thing that I want you to do is I want you to pull the club head back on that line, and I want you to drive the club through and over that line. If you do that, you're throwing darts down your target. Now, what do you think is going to be easier for you to get a line to? Something 1 to 2 feet in front of this golf ball, or something 300 yards down the fairway?
1 to 2 feet.
Yeah, 1 to 2 feet. It's a no-brainer, right? You're going to do this with every single shot in your bag. You ever watch golf on TV? Do the tour pros ever just get up and hit a golf ball? No, they always have a process or a pre-shot routine that they go through to calm themselves, to get themselves prepared, and to find their target line. Okay? They're trusting your golf swing. Okay? Very, very important. You want to try it? All right, let's go ahead and hit a couple. Go through your pre-shot. Pick something 1 to 2 feet. Do you agree on the tee? Or your brain processes by feel and by visual, okay? And your brain learns, it learns by feel and it learns visually, okay? Now, you get 2 huge benefits when you take a practice swing, okay? The first one is you get a chance to feel and visualize what you're trying to do before the execution of the shot. And anytime you have a chance to see it before the execution, that's a big plus. The second benefit that you get is you're going to go into the shot with more of a positive frame of mind. I never want you stepping into the golf ball with a negative or neutral thought process. Always want you to go into the shot with a positive frame of mind. Now, repetition is very, very important for a player. Okay? Now, repetition requires 2. If you just take 1 practice swing and then go to the execution of the shot, that's not repetition. So what I want you to do is I want you to take at least 2 practice swings. You can take 20 if you want, but I want you to take at least 2 before executing that shot. Okay? Now, where do we take the practice swing? You have 2 choices, William. You can either take your practice swings right in front of the golf ball, or you can come back 10 to 15 feet and take your practice swings here. A lot of people simply like to see the golf ball in front of them while they're taking their practice swings. If that's the case, the practice swings are first, pre-shot is second, so you can get your feet aligned, set and ready to go. Okay? All right, so let's try it. Let's take your practice swings first, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you hit a couple of golf balls, William, and I want you to take your practice swings here, and then I want you to try it back here, and just see which one feels most comfortable for you, okay? Yeah. Now when you swing hard, what you're doing is you're swinging hard with your arms, and the club head will have a tendency to lag behind, leaving the club face open. So if you just swing a little bit easier, that club face will have an easier time catching your hand. I want you to start your wrist hinge at or above parallel as you're going through this three-shot routine. That's what I want you to feel in the practice. Start it at or slightly above parallel in your practice, okay? Smooth. No shot in golf, William, that calls for 100% power. 80 to 85% is max. Remember, performance and accuracy is number one, power is always number two. Don't overcook it, okay? The only thing you're going to do when you overpower the golf ball is increase your spray power, okay? You're not going to get any more distance. There you go, William. That's nailed. That's a plus. Okay? Now practicing, repetition requires 2 or more. So if you take one practice when you step up to the golf ball, that's not repetition. Your brain needs more than that. You can take 20 if you want, but I want you to take at least 2. One's not enough. So the first thing practice swings do is it helps you feel and visualize what you're trying to do before the execution of the shot. The second thing that a practice swing does is it helps you go into the shot with more of a positive frame of mind. I never want you stepping up to the golf ball with a neutral or negative thought process. If you're hovering over the golf ball and you're second guessing yourself, it's your brain's natural way of saying, back away and start over again. It'll take you less time and it'll save you more strokes by simply backing away and starting over again. But where you take the practice swing is very important. You can take them here, or you can take them 10 to 15 feet behind the golf ball. But always remember, practice swing is number 1, pre-shot is number 2. I don't want you to start